Welcome back to Cajun Country Livin.
If y'all remember a few episodes ago, we started on this sink cabinet and we kind of got to a roadblock because we were waiting on the dishwasher to come in to get our exact measurements. We don't like to frame anything up until we actually have the product and could put a tape measure on it, because that has bit us in the rear ends before.
So we did get this cabinet done as much as we could, but our dishwasher has officially arrived, so that means that we can continue this and get this knocked out and mark it off of our list.
Now I must tell y'all that this is dishwasher number 3. The first dishwasher had a long wait time, so that wasn't gonna work. The next dishwasher that we liked that kind of went with everything, they were out of stock. So this was the third pick. Think it's okay, we both like it. Maybe the third string is gonna be our best bet.
Before we can get that put in, we have a few things left to do on these cabinets now that we have those measurements, so we're gonna go ahead and knock those out first thing.
So before we go any further, the first thing that we have to address is this line. Now you know, we show the good and the bad. Now for whatever reason, we gotta figure out right here if this laser level has a smile type issue going on, or we've made a mistake here. I'm pretty much betting that it ain't the laser level's fault. But anyway, it appears that this is a little bit high in the middle, so the countertop would have a frown to it. I don't know how that happened. We cut that on the miter saw, shot it in with a laser. But if you'll see this little gap right here, whenever we screwed it together, it's almost like maybe we had those screws at an angle and it pushed it up or something. Not real sure what happened, but we do have to fix it before we go any further. We don't want to have a countertop though where if something gets spilled in the middle, the water runs off both ends of the countertop. And another thing, just for a little disclaimer, if you hear a little bitty elf type voice in the background nonstop, that is our child in there playing with her dolls, and they are scattered everywhere. And I don't know if she's got a whole little babysitting thing going on, little nursery ring, I don't know what she's got going on. But she is giving them like the right act. They must be misbehaving.
Jim's setting up the saw right now, so I'm gonna figure out exactly, we guessed about 1/8 of an inch, but I think it might be a little bit more than that we need to cut off. That way this is gonna be straight. So we need to take off 1/4 of an inch from this middle post. Well, you're just gonna yank her out of there then, or?
Well, I cheated because I already took the screws out. We put a few brad nails in to hold that in place before we screwed it in. And let me tell you something, these 2-inch brad nails is the business. They was not wanting to come out of there, not even with the brad nail removing hoodies.
First day of spring, and I just wanna sing to everything that's moving, every single little thing. To them birds flying free, fish in the sea, flowers and trees, every little bumblebee. I wanna sing, ooh, ah, oh. To the kids playing hoops, going loop-de-loop, their rainbow-colored bouncy balls and their ice cream scoops. Got my shoes in my hand and my feet in the sand. I got 20 ducklings in a row like a little marching band, and they sing, ooh.
A new home for a while, let me feel alive.
So it comes to the time in the night where I'm getting ready for bed and I start thinking about all the things that I need to do for the next day, and I definitely do not get a good night's sleep because of it. And if I had to guess, I'm not the only person out there that has this problem. So y'all, introducing Beam's Dream Powder. This amazing powder is specially formulated to help you achieve your deepest night's sleep. Just pour 1 to 2 scoops into a mug of hot water or milk, blend or froth it up, and enjoy a cozy finish. Sip it 30 to 40 minutes before bed and prepare yourself for an incredible night's slumber. Proper sleep comes with a whole host of benefits. By getting the results sleep you deserve, you can experience increased focus, boosted energy levels, improved mood, better skin, quick reaction time, reduced stress levels, and even support your immune system. But wait, it gets even better. When you subscribe to Beam's Dream Powder, not only will you get 20% off, but you'll get an additional 15% off using our code Cajun. That means up to 35% off of the original price. And as an additional bonus, they're gonna throw in a free frother for you as well. With Beam's Dream Powder, you have nothing to lose but everything to gain. You can pause, skip, or cancel your subscription at any time, so there's no risks involved. So what are you all waiting for? Make sure to use our code Cajun and go to the description to find out more about Beam and find your perfect flavor for you. Thank you, Beam, for sponsoring this video. Sweet dreams, everybody.
The further we move on from all those yesterdays, happiness gets nearer. The light that we see closing in so fast ahead, it's hope, it's getting clearer. The more I think of all the tough times we survived, the more it makes me smile. If nothing's broken us, yeah, nothing never will. 'Cause dreams are hard to kill. And I know somewhere.
The first thing that we're gonna be doing this morning is working to finish this countertop up. We're gonna go ahead and cut this piece a little bit long, so whatever overhang we have right here on this front edge, we're gonna have as well on the end. And the reason that we're gonna be doing that is because we are gonna put a rounded edge on this corner, and we think that that's really gonna tie in nicely with the arches that we already have going on in the kitchen. The whole rounded edge of anything so far has been a little bit complicated for us, so why not go ahead and take on another complication and go ahead and try and do it in this section of our cabinet. So 30 inches, add 1.5 inches, we got 31.5 inches. 31.5 inches by what, 27?
26.5.
26.5. 31.5 by 26.5.
Or was it 26.25? Oh God, now I gotta remeasure.
It's still early, it's still early. Oh, good catch. 26.25.
The piece that we need is 26.25, and I want to use this guide with this rip fence situation we got here. This can only cut a piece of plywood 24 inches wide. So we're going to take the offset piece out, and we're going to rip it. We've got the fence set. We really want a straight cut, and I don't want to try to freehand this at all. So this is the best case scenario that I can come up with.
Should it be round or square?
Round.
There you go.
So here we are again. Brings back so many memories of these arches, trying to figure out exactly how to make this radius, whatever you want to call it, come out right. Now, we don't have any really good scientific method for it. We use a mark and a string, and it's worked out pretty good for us so far. So we're going to try it again on this. Of course, this is a little different deal. This is like a quarter in a little bit circle, maybe like a 3/8 circle. I don't know what this is, but this is the way we're going to try to do it. This is where we want that rounded edge to come back into the square plane in the front. So we're going to mark it here, and that should be where our bevel starts going in for this rounded edge.
Jim Wayne.
What? I'm working. I'm not playing with a cat. See me tying the string on? No, not me.
What we're doing is lining this string that is wrapped around the pencil, the tip of the pencil, even with this corner. From there, we're just kind of pulling on the string and seeing exactly where we can get it to fall out before we actually mark on the corner where it starts and the corner where it ends.
Now the countertop rounded edge scribing Otis is not a perfect science, but it'll definitely get you in the ballpark. All you gotta do is mark it multiple times and pick the one that you like.
Have y'all seen the spaghetti in the room? Because this is, I don't even know how to explain this, but this was a whole ordeal in itself. So we didn't actually have all the parts that we needed. So Jim was able to put multiple hoodices together to create this huge water, I don't even know what to call this, besides a pile of spaghetti hoses for our drain system right now. Typically it wouldn't look like this. We are just waiting for the rest of our parts to come in. That way we can take away all this jumbled mess and have everything put together and it not be a temporary setup. But this way we were able to use the kitchen sink even though it looks like this. So this little section right here that we scribed out is gonna have to be cut out in order for the dishwasher to fit. And this is exactly why we wanted to wait till we got it here, because we knew that we were gonna have to do a little bit of modifications, but we're glad that we got it here and we waited to put it in.
There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want. Playing games, no. There's no denying what we want. There's no denying what we want.
A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt.
Well, everybody, it is the next morning. After we endured a extreme butt kicking from this cabinet yesterday, I needed some rest for sure.
Now, before y'all go and tell us how great of a job we have done on this cabinetry, I want everybody to go and tell Jim how great he has done. I was definitely not part of this beautiful curved section because me and Ladley had to give Gus a little shearing. Me and Lad went outside while Jim finished this up. It had got to the point yesterday that it was just so much thinking and working through things and trying to figure out exactly what needed to happen that I just let Jim take the reins and let him have full control.
And we did make an attempt to video that, but we failed y'all. I have to tell you, this did turn out pretty good, and it seems like probably nothing to all of you that can do this like easily, but this was the third attempt. I cut so much stuff and ended up moving that off to the side, cutting again to try to get the little takeoffs, the overlaps, everything on a curve. It was a lot. So I will tell you what I ended up doing. These facing boards are a 1/2 inch thick. It's a 1/2 inch thick cabinet grade plywood. So I cut another rounded piece of 3/4 plywood and screwed it in from the bottom to have something to land this to. This is stacked sheets of ripped 1/8 plywood to make this contoured edge, and I kept stacking them on there, gluing and nailing until I got it out to the same thickness as the front facing. So it finally worked out to where I got it, but man, it was a bear.
We do have a few more places in the house that we are going to be doing this rounded edge, so for anybody that wants to see us do it, we will be doing it in the future, but this one was definitely a learning curve, and literally learning curve. So in the future, we'll definitely show y'all exactly how Jim got to this point, but for now, y'all just, honestly, this turned out better than I ever imagined that it could have. We went back and forth so many times about what we wanted to do right here. Originally, we were gonna bring the cabinet all the way down and just leave it straight, but now we left it, but eventually we obviously decided to just leave the top and leave that wider edge around the side. So now if we want to later on, we could always go back and add some shelves right there or put the trash can there or whatever we wanna do, or just leave it. So
I say just leave it. I wouldn't want to poke that bear. I'm glad we got it figured out. And in the future, on the next ones we do, now that we have some kind of a clue, we'll make sure to bring you along for every piece of that.
So now this morning we're gonna get started on our cabinet doors, and once those are in, we can put this dishwasher back in and everything will be set.
Be ready for countertops then. That's what I'm excited about.
All three of these cabinet doors are gonna be the same size, so if we cut one, we can just cut 2 more and we'll have 3 ready to go. I said that fast, tell you.
Everything with cabinets, with their little bit of experience, is that nothing is fast with cabinets. When you think you're just gonna get out here and wham bam it together and it's gonna be over with, you're kidding yourself.
I'd run 1,000 miles if I could run with you. And from what I have heard, you do the same thing too.
I've got the saw set up to rip the width of the cabinet doors that I need. We're gonna run the saw lengthways with this sheet of plywood. The reason we're doing that is to try to keep all of the wood grain up and down that we can. I'm not really sure that if we cut it the other way we would save material or not. It's kind of a toss-up doing this at this particular size. Assuming people probably do it in all kinds of different directions, just whatever your personal preference is. This is just our preference to have everything running up and down.
Instead of taking down the piece that we already have left up here, we're just gonna go ahead and cut this one out as well. So the 19 3/4 we went ahead and set on the ground, and we'll come back to that in just a second, but we're gonna go ahead and get our last sheet out of this piece that we already have up. We do have that cordless heart router, but we are just gonna go back to our typical corded, run-of-the-mill router. We have everything still set up on that for the cabinets that we did before, so we're just gonna go ahead and use the exact same thing, and we're gonna go ahead and knock it out. And we do think that it does a little bit better on this thicker 3/4 inch plywood versus that smaller router. I mean, it does a great job as well, but we think that it does better on thinner stuff rather than thicker.